Right now at noon, the decision before Missouri voters concerning law enforcement funding.
And we've got a hot and breezy day across the area. We'll talk about how long this heat's going to be here and what kind of relief may be on the way coming up.
Plus, Parsons, Kansas shows support for parents in the workplace.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, Missouri voters will soon decide the future of law enforcement funding in the state. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Noe. Amendment 6 asks whether the Missouri Constitution should allow the use of court costs and fees to support the salaries and benefits of certain law enforcement personnel. KOAM's Samantha Walker has more on what voters need to know about what's on their November ballot.
A yes vote on Missouri Amendment 6 would amend the state constitution to allow court costs and fees to support benefits for current and former sheriffs, prosecutors, and circuit attorneys. A court fee was used for this until the Missouri Supreme Court ruled in 2021 this practice could violate the right to court access. This amendment would nullify that decision. Missouri State Senator Rusty Black filed the initial bill that has become Amendment 6. In a column on the Senate website, Black says the amendment would, quote, ensure a robust retirement fund for sheriffs as they approach the end of their careers. But the executive director of the National Police Accountability Project says the amendment could create problems.
You know, it is problematic for court fees to be a source of revenue for law enforcement officers because, you know, that does create, you know, this kind of incentive that we've seen to police for profit, to prosecute for profit. If there is this kind of connection between how many cases you have and, you know, what your revenue is going to be for a particular year.
The Missouri Secretary of State's office says if passed, this measure will have no impact on taxes. Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Now you can learn more about what you'll be voting on this November on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com/elections. Now let's check in with Chris Warner for a look at the forecast.
Yeah, temperatures heating up across the area already today, and they're going to stay that way for the next few days. Quick look outside from this morning, just outside, or from the MoDOT camera rather, 20th and Range Line. Folks getting their day underway halfway through this work day, and we're that much closer to the weekend. Camera in downtown Pittsburgh this morning also looking pretty good this morning. Clear skies out there, plentiful sunshine, and with those gusty southwest winds bringing in warmer weather. Not the case yesterday. Take a look at that. It started at 45, so not quite record low material, but definitely colder than normal. However, temperatures were able to easily soar into the low 80s, making it up to 83 yesterday. Here's a look at that temperature trend. So again, October the 1st, here's our average. Here's where we were, right where we're supposed to be. That is not going to be the case over the next several days out there. So October the 1st, the only true normal October day that we had. As we go through the rest of the evening, temperatures gradually falling back through the low 70s. We'll have clear skies. And once we get past about 5 or 6 o'clock, we'll start to see those winds let up a little bit as well. As I just mentioned, the heat is going to continue. There's a brief break in the heat on the way, and we'll tell you what happens after that here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, human resource departments and companies gathered in Parsons for the Family Friendly Workplaces Summit. Now, the summit aimed to promote the support of families in the workplace through accommodations like paternity and maternity leave. And they say family-forward businesses have higher retention rates.
Also benefit from additional successful recruitment when it comes to employees. It's also about making sure that we have, we're supporting the development, the early development of our children and our future workforce.
Now, Savage believes family-forward workplaces lead to a stronger Kansas economy. Well, today, 40 students from Pittsburgh Community Middle School's Builders Club spread rubber mulch around the playground at the Franklin Community Park. Now, before today, the playground surface was wood chips. The park hopes this effort will create a safer play surface for children who come to enjoy the playground.
The main goal today is to clean up a park and get it presentable or more upkept for an event that's coming up, and just make it safe and clean for kids in the community to play in. The main goal for the club is just to serve the community that supports them.
No, the mulch was obtained through a grant from Kansas Health Foundation Children's Fund through Community Foundation of Southeast Kansas. Well, MoDOT and AAA Missouri are asking teen drivers to show me your score. It's a competition intended to promote and reward teen safe driving in Missouri with up to $15,000 in prizes up for grabs for schools, teens, and faculty. Now, the challenge also highlights Missouri's recently enacted law, which prohibits the handheld use of an electronic device for all drivers. You can learn more about the Show Me Your Score challenge on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, the commemorative Air Force Rise Above exhibit will take off at the Coffeyville Municipal Airport starting today. KOAM's Lonnie Walton gives us a preview of what visitors can learn when they attend.
The commemorative Air Force's Rise Above exhibit is stopping in Coffeyville. The exhibit tells the story of the Tuskegee Airmen and the Wasp.
The exhibit itself will actually have a semi-truck that we just watched pull in. It will have different artifacts and it'll have a movie playing, and then we'll actually have an airplane that will fly in.
You know, it's part of history, and it's a part of history that people really don't know about.
Bob Ruski's father started the Aviation Heritage Museum. He says it's important the Air Force is alive and close to Coffeyville.
We want to keep this going so that we won't forget where the Funk airplanes came from, and keep Coffeyville kind of on the map because of what the Funk brothers have done for Coffeyville.
Lisa Brookover is a board member of the Coffee Heritage Museum. She says the exhibit is a big deal to Coffeyville because of the airmen.
Montgomery County had 6 Tuskegee Airmen, and Coffeyville had 1, Othell Dixon.
Ruski says exhibits like this one helps his father's dream live on.
I wanted to basically keep the legacy going of the Funk brothers.
Reporting in Coffeyville, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
The Rise Above exhibit in Coffeyville runs through Sunday. Well, some students in Oklahoma have a chance to aim even higher as graduates of the air traffic control programs at Tulsa Community College and the University of Oklahoma can now bypass the Federal Aviation Admission Training Academy. The FAA says the move will make it easier to hire air traffic controllers amid a shortage. Air traffic controllers are so short-staffed. Many have been working 6-day weeks of mandatory overtime. Well, coming up, Freeman Health System in Joplin demonstrated a modular hospital in the event of a disaster. And later, we're making Bavarian roast pork in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Well, President Biden visits Florida and Georgia today, talking with people devastated by Hurricane Helene. The storm that hit nearly a week ago is now blamed for more than 180 deaths in 6 states, and survivors are running short of just about everything. Skylar Henry is in Asheville, North Carolina.
During his visit to the Southeast Wednesday, President Biden surveyed some of the worst hit parts of western North Carolina.
Hurricane Helene has been a storm literally of historic proportions.
In the aftermath, survivors continue to cope with limited electricity, food, and water. We spoke to Adam Norton, who is bottling river water to use at home.
You gotta do what you gotta do. That means use this to flush your toilet, drink the bottled water.
Business owners in the area have also been blindsided by the scale of the disaster.
It's just catastrophic.
Brian and Angela King are the owners of the now heavily damaged 12 Bones Smokehouse in the once vibrant River Arch district of Asheville.
I can't overstate how much worse this is than anything that's ever happened.
So far, nearly 90 people have been confirmed dead statewide, with many still unaccounted for. Jessica Meidinger's mother, Kim Ashby, is still missing after her home in Elk Park crumbled into a nearby river during the storm. She and her husband Rod used debris to float down the river until they got knocked off.
They hit some sort of patch of trees or debris or something, and that's when it collided and they separated at that point and fell into the river. And that was the last that he saw of her.
Rod was able to escape. Brownie Newman, chairman of the Buncombe County Board of Commissioners, says the region has been shaken by so much loss.
What's that process been like in terms of working with search and rescue crews?
Yeah, very painful. You know, it's just like we have we have these first responders who are working so hard, and and they all live here too.
President Biden has deployed up to 1,000 active duty troops to help reinforce North Carolina's National Guard. He also added that dozens of those Starlink satellite systems have been deployed as well to help with communications around the area affected by Helene. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Asheville, North Carolina.
Well, in the wake of Hurricane Helene, a lot of people are looking at their immediate medical services. Yesterday, Freeman Health System addressed that issue with a demonstration of a modular hospital. The on-the-spot hospital sets up in just 90 minutes and provides a triage center that can handle up to 6 patients.
So this is just a good chance for us to practice ourselves. We've invited all the community to be involved, local fire departments, emergency managers, the other hospitals in the area. And our assets are their assets. When we're in healthcare, every single provider, we're healthcare providers. And we're there together during disasters.
The modular hospital also can provide mass communication, satellite, 5G cellular backup systems, radios, and emergency lighting. Well, still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
No matter how many times I get into my lederhosen, I always get it wrong the first time. Good thing Oktoberfest only comes once a year.
And we've got the hot conditions out there continuing into the weekend and maybe a little relief on the way. We'll have a look at your forecast right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon. So we've had a hot day yesterday, not too terribly far above normal, but it's going to be well above normal today, the next day, and I think you kind of get the idea here in terms of the heat across the area. Quick look outside from earlier this morning, downtown Pittsburgh. Skies are cleared, looking pretty fantastic out there. Unfortunately, again, the only October-like day we had was October the 1st, and after that, it's not been that way at all. On the future track, no clouds, no rain. All we have are these gusty winds and these temperatures 10 to 15 degrees above where we're supposed to be for this time of year. Now, once we get into about 5, 6 o'clock, similar to Tuesday as well, we'll see the winds start to ease up and they'll shift out of the south overnight. Those southerly winds, though, are what's going to keep the temperatures warm across the area. And unfortunately, we head into our Friday, another day of 10 to 15 degrees above normal and clear skies. We don't have any rain out there, which is not good because a good portion of the area is in severe drought conditions, and we aren't looking at any rain. Some of the long-range data says it won't be until the middle of this month before we even have some slight chances of rain. So hopefully that will improve for us because we go into Saturday, and well, if you were guessing it was going to be hot, you would be right. Another day of temperatures 10 to 15 degrees above normal, and another day, no clouds, no rain. There's nothing out there that's actually going to end up helping us out. So for the rest of today, believe it or not, we're still going to heat up. We're already getting warm now. It's going to be hotter later. Upper 80s, low 90s. So again, that puts us in that 10 to 15 degree range above normal. And the southwest wind still occasionally gusting about 25, maybe 30 miles an hour. And those will start to ease up once we get past 5, 6 o'clock. So into the evening, clear skies out there, back into the low 60s. That's about 10 degrees warmer than where we should be out there. And it'll be a little warmer for a lot of us tonight. We had a few locations this morning starting in the low 50s. Not going to be the case tomorrow morning. The south winds around 5 to 10 miles an hour. We head into our Friday, still hot. Upper 80s, low 90s, southwest wind 5 to 10, so not nearly as breezy as today, but still, this is almost like late August, early September weather, and we are into the first full week of October almost, and still staying hot. Going to continue through Saturday, and then we get to Sunday. We're a little bit cooler, still about 10 degrees above normal, but we have a cold front coming through. Now, unfortunately, this cold front also has no rain associated with it, but it will bring us down a little bit, down into the upper 40s by Sunday night. So back below normal, near normal Monday, near normal Monday night. Once we get past that, though, unfortunately, we turn around and go right back to this pattern of 10 to 15 degrees above average, with our temperatures climbing back up into the upper 80s and low 90s next week. And as you can see on the 10-day, no rain chances on there right now. We're still holding out hope, though, by the middle of this month, we can start to get a little bit of rain into the area. Elise?
90 degrees in October is just unbelievable. We'll stick around. We're making Bavarian roast pork in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Today, Howard's making Bavarian roast pork in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
As our celebration of Oktoberfest continues, today we're putting down our beer and focusing on mustard. For most of us, when we think of mustard, we think of the yellow ballpark variety that most of us keep on our refrigerator door. If that's the only mustard on your door, it's time to step out of your comfort zone. You see, in Germany, mustard has been the go-to condiment since medieval times, due to the fact that it was readily available when spices weren't. Today, there are so many varieties of mustards to choose from, everything from smooth, lighter ones to grainy, full-bodied ones. As a matter of fact, after marinating a pork loin in some beer and brat mustard, a bit of honey, some minced garlic, a chopped onion, and a good German beer, we sear it and place it in a roasting pan, and into the oven it goes. While this roasts, we'll cook down the remaining marinade, creating a flavor-packed sauce. Once it's cooked to perfection, we'll let it sit for a bit before carving and serving it with our homemade sauce. By the way, this goes great over spatzel. To get the recipe for our Bavarian roast pork, along with the recipe for our homemade spatzel, simply visit our website. I'm Howard with Frau Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found an old world way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Well, you can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website. That's, of course, KOAMnewsnow.com. Now, here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, so we've got those temperatures again staying warm out there through the weekend. A little closer to normal, say Monday, and it's a very brief cool down. Temperatures warming back up as we go back into the upper 80s and low 90s heading into the next work week. And we stay dry and sunny.
We said it for a few days, but 90 degrees in October is just unbelievable.
It's wrong, isn't it?
It is wrong, Dow. It really is.
It feels more like August than October.
Well, what do you have for us tonight,
A
Dow?
lot's coming up at 5. For starters, how about ditching your phone and having a real conversation? That's the idea behind Unplug Club, which hosts events where electronics are locked away and guests are encouraged to open up to each other. How about that? We're going to see how the group takes up new hobbies without the distraction of devices. Plus, we'll take a look at how electors are chosen in the state of Missouri ahead of the November election. And the Gordon Parks Museum in Fort Scott hosts its 21st annual celebration. Hope you join us for those stories. A lot more, of course, it's coming up on KOAM News at 5.
All right, thank you, Dow. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5. Until then, have a great rest of your day.